Hey there, Skeletor here, and welcome back to Zeitgeist. In a previous video, I told you to like and subscribe if you wanted more Godzilla content, and you did. So here we are. So, Toho recently made a statement that basically says that as long as King of the Monsters and Godzilla vs. Kong makes enough money, they'll be allowed to keep the Godzilla rights for longer than these next two movies, which means the Monsterverse can keep expanding forwards. Keeping that in mind, let's take a look at possible monsters who could show up if we keep getting more movies. And we're going to start off number one with Baragon. I know everybody's upset, I didn't say Anguirus, but you know what? Baragon has shown up in most, if not all, of the script work for most of the original Godzilla movies. Unfortunately, they were never able to implement him because the suit would fall apart, or it turns out they needed a different monster who had actual abilities besides just digging holes. But Baragon stays in line with everything that Legendary's been doing. Organic monsters. No real big superpowers outside of atomic breath and lightning blasts. Baragon would be a perfect fit for Legendary. He could show up in the Himalayan mountains, he could show up on Skull Island. He's a burrower, which also fits into the whole Kong Skull Island Hollow Earth theory. We're probably gonna see Biollante. I don't see any reason why Skull Island would disappear. And where's a good place for Biollante to show up? Skull Island. It's a giant swamp monster. It doesn't even need to have its origins tied to Godzilla like in the original. So number two on this list is gonna be Biollante. They can even mess around with the design a bit, make it a bit more plant-like or alligator-like instead of Godzilla. But I think a brand new version of this would fit right in with everything that they're doing so far. Number three on this list is going to be Megalon. I can see them sort of making their own version of this, and maybe not even calling it Megalon. But again, if they get new rights, we could be seeing Megalon. It's essentially just a giant beetle. It doesn't even need to have the horn lasers. It shoots like magma acid lava balls, and it's got giant drill hands. The drill hands don't even have to be drills, because again, we're going for a more realistic approach. They're probably just gonna be like giant bone hooks or something. Number four. I can kind of see Mechagodzilla showing up. He's shown up in every other iteration of Godzilla. Technically, Legendary did have the rights to him, but they squandered it on Ready Player One. It was nice to see him fight a giant Gundam, but I would rather have seen him fight Godzilla. That being said, again, if we require new rights, this could be Mechagodzilla's chance, the final boss to defeat Godzilla. And number five, and this is one that I really want to see, Varan the Unbelievable. He originally showed up in his own solo movie, just like Rodan and Mothra did, and when that movie didn't do too well, they decided to roll him into the main Godzilla universe. Of course, at the time it wasn't called a shared universe, but still. The suit that they used to film Varan actually got damaged pretty bad over the years, so he was relegated to just cameos or stock footage for most of the movies that he showed up in. But still, when you're looking at scripting and early work for each of the Godzilla movies, Varan, and actually Baragon as well, show up a lot. They just don't end up in the final cuts of the movie. But Varan had a pretty good story, and I feel like this is one that they could roll into the Monsterverse pretty well. So that's my top five. Let me know what you think. Who from the original series could show up in the Monsterverse? With a shout out to Baragon and Anguirus. Well, if you made it this far, thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. Like and subscribe for more Godzilla content. And for ZeitgeistOG, I've been Skeletor. Have a good one.